Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, not with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. Actually going to be doing 3 of them. Going to be casting some of the IEM qualifiers. So we're going to be having ourselves what I think should be an awesome Zerg versus Protoss best of 3. So 3 matches between these two guys. And yeah, I mean, they are two great StarCraft 2 players spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map, playing for TS Gaming. It's herO, pardon me on the pronunciation of that team. You just recently joined them. And they're sort of like a new Chinese team, I believe. But spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map, playing for the Gosu crew, it's Dark. So Dark and herO, I mean, two fantastic players whenever they're on point, so it's always a treat to watch them play. Now, herO sort of recently returned to full-on pro gaming. He's had his ups and downs lately, but we'll see how he's going to do versus Dark this game. But Dark seems to be starting things off a little bit earlier, and I think he's going to be going for a proxy hatchery here. That drone snuck around very, very quickly, and yes, it did. So Dark starting things off a little bit cheesy here, and herO's going to have to deal with that. So herO returning the favor a little bit, pylon blocking Dark. Oh, and herO actually does cancel that pylon. But likely just going to block it with his probe if I had to take a guess. Okay, so we've got a bit of a crazy start here. Lots of probes being pulled off the line to start working away on this hatchery. The magic number, the magic number is around 8 to attack onto it just to keep it from gaining too much health. And then once the zealot's out, that really shuts it down. So herO, he's probably dealt with this a million times, but Dark still thinks that it's a good strategy. It's one that he's comfortable with, just to try and throw herO off a little bit. And is he going to rebuild it? Oh, yes, he is. Okay, so Dark being a pain here. I mean, the first one gets canceled, but does herO pull off more probes? Okay, he's going to pull off a few more. He's got the zealot working away on this, as herO's sort of been forced to go for a 2-gate opening, whereas Dark just getting up his own hatchery on the way now. And is this going to be enough damage to bring this down? Looks like it will be. Dark quickly canceling that. We'll see if he runs on out with the drone or not. But no, I mean, so just being as much of a nuisance as possible. Dark now just scouting out with that drone. Is he going to go for the gas steal? I think that would be really cool. But, Alright, so that drone running around as far as things go. This game does look like it's going to head into a pretty normal macro game after that crazy opening. By the way, Dark rocking the mecha skins, the scrapyard skins, kind of more like it, I think. But we'll see. Now here comes in the 2 adepts for herO. We'll see what they're able to find. I mean, Dark deleted all of his own hatcheries and everything at the expense of herO's own nexus. So, I mean, it's sort of just setting this game up to be in a bit of a normal position. Now, the 2 adepts for herO are going to come on in. And these lings, I don't know if they're in a proper position to deal with it for Dark. Doesn't quite look like it. So herO's going to be able to nab up a few drones, at least getting 2 for starters. 3 drones going down, 4 drones. This is a lot of damage getting done. That is indeed a lot of damage. 6 drones have died in total, 1 across the map, I believe. And, or 7, pardon me. Those adepts killed 6 drones. That's actually a massive amount of damage. I mean, generally like 3 to 4 is on the higher end that you want to lose to those 2 adepts, but I mean, this was a bit of a different opening. So I mean, that definitely hurt Dark. He's now squeezing out a few more drones, but I mean, his worker count is very low. He also started a roach warren while this was going on, but herO doesn't know about this, and looks like Dark's really just going to be pulling the trigger, going for some aggression versus his opponent. Just going to be trying to kill herO straight up before he gets too much out. And we'll see if herO's able to hold on at all. Lings are now going to be poking at the front. I mean, there is a stalker and sentry behind that wall, so they're not going to be able to just harass herO for free. And 6 roaches are on the way behind this, but I mean, all ins, I mean, you can make him work off a low number of workers, but this is a very, very low number of workers. Right now, Dark, he's just got 18 drones. That's a very, very low number. It can't be overstated. And I mean, so he's just making a couple of roaches here and there. It's not like he can afford to make a ton of units. I think something that's probably important for him, or I'm not sure, is maybe to pull out a gas eventually once he's made a couple of Ravagers, then just flood with Lings. And I mean, he'll eventually want to do that, but you can only squeeze like squeeze so much juice out of an orange or whatever. Now, herO, he's scouting out. He sees no drones, so he definitely knows that this is coming. As far as how he's reacting, though, I mean, he's just making the one immortal. Well, he's got the one out. There's another one that's being produced, but Dark's actually just crashing on in here. Was herO not adequately prepared for this? Looks like the sentry's getting attacked. A few zealots are warped in, but they don't have charge or anything. Lings are now working away on this immortal, getting some damage done to it, but it looks like that the immortal will be able to hold on there. However, there's still a lot of roaches in here, and it looks like Dark may be able to unpower herO's gateways. This will be a massive blow, and now it's just roaches versus probes. The couple of immortals are in charge of putting out all the damage. Dark's trying to focus them down, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get it. He's dropping corrosive vials. He's killed off a mighty amount of workers here. He gets one of the immortals, picking off another of those probes, just dropping more corrosive vials. He wants to unpower these pylons just to keep herO on the back foot. Now, this immortal, it's right in the front. A few Lings are rallying on in. I mean, Dark's producing everything that he can, but herO does have a warp prism, so he can micro this immortal, can micro this stalker. Really, that's all he has. His other gateways get unpowered once again, but I mean, there's a lot of Lings coming in here for Dark. herO's going to need excellent micro. And I think that he might just not have reacted to this. He never threw up enough shield batteries, didn't warp in any more units right as that attack was coming on in, so he might not have taken this seriously enough, or it might just not have really clicked with him. But now herO's in a world of trouble right now. I mean, one immortal, a zealot, and a stalker have got a lot of work to do right now. Lings are just flooding on in for Dark still. I mean, he's not really transitioning, and there's just not that much for herO, which is good versus Lings. Another pylon going to be unpowered. These Lings are just being a menace in his base. herO lost workers. Dark also squeezed out a few. And now Lings are coming in for the surround. Force fields are going down. There's two immortals out, but looks like Dark's just going to run all the way home. Going to maybe pick up a zealot. herO's doing a good job microing with the prism, but I mean, just the duration that this attack is going on is really hurting. Really hurting the Protoss player. And now he loses his Cyber Core, so really all that he can warp in is zealots. He's gonna have the two immortals, but we probably, like, you'd generally assume that the only thing herO can really do is counterattack. And that may be true, but he is making a few probes, not rushing to any units, as I mean, his own economy was hurt here. It was hurt bad. Okay, now these two immortals are going to try and get something done to sort of bring him back into this game. They're going to fly right into these queens, though, or this prism is at least. So if the queens can damage that, that'll quickly end this rush. I mean, Dark does have to be careful, has to respect it. I mean, two immortals in a prism can always get something done when microed correctly. And herO's doing his best to pick off these queens, but that prism's getting rather low. So, I mean, herO needs to be very careful, and he does head on out after taking a beating on that warp prism. And I mean, Dark, he's got the 3 bases up. I mean, yeah, he didn't have many drones, but he had enough bases up that he can really just macro up 3 bases is wonderful for that. But he's actually just coming on in for an attack here. herO's forced to recall the prism. It looks like a force field getting thrown down. Dark's committing, not with too much right now, but still getting a bit of damage on that. Warp prism actually took a bit more damage there. And I mean, looks like Dark may be pulling back after that attack failed. He's getting some Lings into the main base of herO, though. We'll see if he's able to get too much, just continuously being a nuisance. However, I mean, committing to that attack, he wasn't really droning, so the worker count hasn't been the best for Dark, and herO's actually managed to build up quite an army, so he may just be counterattacking, and Dark could be in a lot of trouble right now. I mean, just all those units he threw away in that attack that didn't really get too much done. That extra attack, it definitely hurt him, and they could have potentially been useful in this defense, so we'll see. herO's coming in with immortals and charge lots, whereas Dark just doesn't have a hell of a lot right now. I mean, he's getting up a Baneling nest, but getting up, not has one, so not going to have Banelings to help out versus the charge lots. He's going to try and surround some of these units, which could be good for him. The 2 immortals are putting out as much damage as they can. Ling's getting a decent surround on the zealots, but there's just so many zealots here. I mean, the prism's going to go down, but it doesn't matter. herO manages to take the first game, guys, and that was just game number 1. This is a best of 3, so there's going to be at least one more game. I'm going to be casting that right away. Just right as soon as I get back into the game here. Oh, are they going to do this? I'm going to have to sign on in. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Do I even remember my password? We right? Come on. It's taking too long. Definitely not right. These replays, They have now been outdated a little bit by the patch, but oh, did I get it? Or did it crash? Hold on, we're on a black screen here. What's going on? Oh no, it actually loaded into the replay. Okay, look at that. All right, awesome. Okay, guys, so thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Ooh, I didn't want you guys to see that. We're just gonna pretend that never happened. I'm gonna quickly go and change that option. I do apologize for that. We'll just pretend that one never happened, but all right, here we are. So we're getting on into game number 2. And, pardon me. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, playing for TS Gaming. It's herO. And spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's always a treat to watch these guys play. It's Gosu Cruz Dark. Now, is that the aquatic larva that Dark has on? I think that is. Now, then he's got the spiky overlord, so that's like, that's from the first war chest, I want to say. But no, these skins are really cool. herO, of course, has the cool nexus. I'm not sure if those are the regular probes or not. But, no, yeah, I mean, this is absolutely awesome to be casting Dark and herO. Like, these guys have been at the top of their game when the other player has been playing so well. Like, they've played each other in tournaments a lot. And then just the IEM qualifiers, they bring out the best of the best, so of course they faced in this. And guys, if you're new to the channel and you're sticking through this and you're watching this, make sure to hit subscribe, because I'm going to be casting a lot more of the IEM qualifiers, and I'm always casting a lot of high-level Starcraft too, so we'll, there's going to be more coming down the line, that's for sure. But, okay, now, hatchery on the way for Dark, so no crazy proxy hatch this game. I mean, that last game, that was pretty chaotic as far as everything's considered. We'll see if we have more of a standard one this game, but I mean, as far as PvZ goes, chaotic can always be a little bit more fun than just the usual timing attacks and whatnot. But it's always also good to learn from timing attacks and whatnot in standard plays. Dark getting up that very, very quick third hatchery. I mean, we're not even 2 minutes into the game and it's already on the way. I mean, he has his spawning pool up, but just delaying the queens really to get this out. But just, I guess, liking to have that up in time. It really does come down to a player preference. There's no solid, like, stance on whether it's better to go early hatchery, get out the queens. I mean, I'm sure someone could math out the difference, but it's very negligible. And until I think Alpha Star learns to play Zerg, we probably won't know the actual answer. Now, that Adept is going to be moving out across the map for herO, so just the standard 1-gate Adept opening. Then just chrono boosting out probes, getting a Twilight up behind this. And Dark moving out with his 2 Lings, actually trying to catch that probe, and actually gets the probe. We don't often see that go down. He's now splitting up the Lings, going to be running each way. So now herO, he's got to be thinking, all right, there's Lings on the way. He'll have an Adept back at home. Or actually a Stalker back at home, pardon me. But then just scouting out with this Adept. Is it going to commit on in? I mean, it is just an Adept, but there's only a Queen to deal with it. So herO already getting 1 drone. Is he going to be able to get another? Dark needs to morph those, but he's not actually getting that done. So, I mean, 2 drone kills for 1 Adept that just waltzed on in there. That is pretty good for herO. The Adept gets out, so that's a nice start for the Protoss player. Now, a robotics facility, a Dark Shrine on the way here for herO. And so probably going to be going for that sort of DT rush into Archon drop, and then we'll see where that game goes from there. So a pretty standard build. Oh, and what did he cancel? He canceled something. Guys, herO canceled something, but I'm not sure what it was. I think it might have just been a pylon, since it said 75 minerals, I want to say. Now, that Prism is on the way, the Dark Shrine on the way, the few extra gateways, you know, on the way. So herO will be able to morph in those 4 DTs for his Archons. And then Dark just getting up a Roachborn, getting up a Lair, so stops at that magic number of drones, which for Zerg, in this sort of position in a PvZ, seems to be around 35 to 38 or so, as far as drones, before the Zerg say, alright, I gotta make sure that I have my Roachborn on the way. Gotta be thinking about what the Protoss will be throwing at me momentarily. And herO's Warp Prism, was that actually scouted by Dark? I am not sure. But either way, We've got a Spore Crawler on the way here for Dark, pardon me. The Roachborn's going to be finishing up, and herO does still have to warp in those DTs, and is he going to keep them as DTs, or is he going to go right into Archons? DTs are the choice. Changes his mind, actually, pardon me. And so those cool red Archons are going to be on the way. This Archon skin is just so cool looking, by the way, guys. It's just like a normal Archon, but angrier, so it just looks so sick. Now, Dark's gonna have to try and react to this. Quickly repositions his Spore Crawler to try and shoo that Prism away. A lot of Queens are out here, so herO gotta be careful with that Prism. Losing some shields, actually warping in another set of DTs, though, which is pretty interesting. So gonna be just trying to get something done with actual Dark Templar, it looks like, but there is an Overseer out for Dark, so he's not gonna have any issue defending this herO. Getting into his third base, sort of just the standard follow-up after not getting anything done. And I mean, there's still room for him to get something done with this drop, but so far Dark's defense is looking pretty good. However, these DTs actually snuck right on by. There's a Spore Crawler in the main, so that DT is going to be going down. Drones have been pulled. I mean, it still kills off a few, and drones are running from the natural, so I mean, that DT also going to get on out, so I mean, Dark got a bit of damage done with that. Not a ton of drones, but definitely a couple, so getting something done. And yeah, so herO getting something done there. Following it up with the Immortals charge, the Forge, whatever tech is really coming up next for the Protoss. Very, very standard follow-up. Every Protoss has to go into this after their sort of initial hand has been played in a Protoss versus Zerg, because if you don't kill the Zerg, you got to be planning for the follow-ups. You got to get into a better army. And okay, now these Archons with an Overseer are going to be cleaning up some creep, getting done nicely by herO. Gonna be looking for an Overlord perhaps. So I mean, herO's definitely microing these around, but I mean, the damage he's been getting done really is negligible. I mean, he killed off a few drones, and now here comes in a DT wanting to run into the third base, it looks like. Is he just gonna try and like sneak around the bottom there? Yeah, he is. Oh man, herO is just, he's just such a smart player, guys. So this DT gonna be getting into this base, and the Spore Crawler out of position for Dark, so drones are gonna be getting picked off here. Meanwhile, herO just microing this Prism, so I mean, he got 3 drones, which probably already pays for the DT, and then the DT just runs right on out. So I mean, herO just continuously harassing a little bit, not getting tons of damage as Dark's economy's still powering up, but a little bit here and there, making the Zerg uncomfortable. Although this Prism, pretty big mistake there. Oh, that almost goes down. herO, good thing he reacted in time. Oh, that would have been a massive loss. Protoss players, when they lose their 2 Archons, which herO just about did, it's always such a dicey position, but he actually comes on in with this Prism. Is he going to lose it again? It's so close. He focuses down the Queen and saves the Prism. He does lose one of the Archons, though. So, I mean, herO really tempting fate, and I mean, narrowly avoiding that loss there, so might be time for him to head on home. Now, Blink is on the way for herO, but Dark's been going into mutas this whole time. I mean, that Spire was on the production tab for a time, but does herO know about this? Where's that actual Spire, pardon me?
Upgrade complete.
It's at the back there, and I mean, herO doesn't know. So whether he's getting ready for this or not is the question. He's got Archons and whatnot. I mean, and he's got him in this Prism. Looks like he may be hunting for that Overseer. He'll be able to get that, but no shield batteries at any of his bases, and suddenly he's going to be in a lot of trouble as these mutas show on up for Dark. Dark got the Roaches to defend just whatever herO goes for. Looks like herO's moving across the map. He may just be going for a bit of a base trade, but if the Protoss player is just leaving their base as mutas show up, it is always a desperate situation. Cannons are now on the way at these bases to try and stop the mutas, but the natural is pretty much forfeit right now, and herO's just got to go for it. He's definitely going to be going for it, but I mean, does he have enough? There's a lot of Roaches here for Dark. It's not just some small force. herO's got a couple of Immortals. Good force fields are going down from the seam of it, but I mean, there's just so much Zerg right now. herO's ground army, I'm not sure it's going to be up to stuff to keep pace with these mutas, which are ravaging the base of herO. These Stalkers can finally deal with this, but there's been so much damage dealt to the Protoss player. These Stalkers can blink after this, but just a couple of them blink on up, and these mutas are always going to be able to get some damage done. They're being shot down, but I mean, the Stalkers not really killing them off with their +1, even with their +1, not getting too much done. And looks like these Immortals, oh man, they were all actually caught out there by the Roaches, by the Lings, and suddenly hero's got to deal with all these roaches on his doorstep. He's down on supply, and it looks like we're going to be going into a game number 3 between these two. Such a sick PvZ series, and we're going to be having one more. Another one, that's for sure. I mean, herO, he's just in shambles right now, as his base is not really mining. I mean, he's got a DT trying to do his best, but DDs can't even clean up the mutas, and it's just 29 workers to 67. So we'll see here. Yeah, those roaches, Ravagers gonna be heading out. GG. Dark managing to take it. So a tied series here between these two. So that means we're gonna be having one more PvZ. And these guys, it's always a treat to watch them play. Okay, now let's see. Is it gonna like let me load on in here? Click. No, alright, I'm gonna have to type my password again. It is a bit of a pain how you have to do that when viewing old replays. There we go. We are loading on into the next game. Actually not sure what the map is, so this is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. It's going to be Port Alexander. Dark versus herO is always a treat though, guys. And I mean, those games, they weren't particularly long. That's why I like to cast like all the maps from a qualifier series at once, because I mean, otherwise it's just like, you may notice on my channel I don't often cast like 2 base Zealot-all-ins that just end the game, or if I do, it's always in this form in which, you know, it's a multiple game series. Otherwise it's just like, oh, I clicked on this video, it was a standard timing attack, which isn't gonna do too much good unless I really analyze the build. And I mean, I just cover like sort of the general basics of what the players are doing. And yeah, we'll see anyway. So spawning down the bottom right hand side of the map, I mean, we've cast 2 of his games already, so you should know him. It's TS Gaming's herO. And his opponent, it's Dark. I mean, Dark managing to take it there. It really was the mutas that got him that win in that last game, forcing herO's hand. herO just not scouting it. And you always got to respect mutas if you're the Protoss player. And he just wasn't quite prepared in time. He went for that attack, and that really didn't work out. And then Dark, yeah, I mean, just able to shut him down now. herO being a bit of a nuisance with this probe. Going to be doing that little micro trick in which you mine on the minerals, and it messes up the pathing of your opponent's drone. So if you guys are watching, have watched a bit of Starcraft 2 and you notice this happening, like, just pay close attention to the drone. See that drone went to mine there? But herO sent it to another patch. This is costing Dark just a little bit of money, and all it's costing herO is just clicking every now and then, just to be sure that he's redirecting those drones. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on right now. I mean, standard stuff behind this. Just pulling up the production tab. Not that we really need it. I mean, it's a very, very standard PvZ. herO's wall is a little bit interesting. Is this how you have to wall in on this map? I guess this is how you can do it with just the 1-1-1 Pylon Gateway Cybercore. And now Dark just having his fishy overlords flying across the map. Looking at those now, I realize that they're definitely like the fishy overlords from the fishy Zerg skins. Kind of looks like a pufferfish, you know? A sky pufferfish. Huh. Look at that. Now, okay, Stargate on the way. We haven't seen one of this series from herO. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out versus Dark. Stalker going to be shooing away this Overlord. 2 Lings going to be chasing down this probe. I mean, Dark actually got the probe this game, and I mean, herO, he neglected to make the Adept, so these Lings can really chase down this probe as long as they want. So, I mean, sometimes the Zerg player can actually get this first probe, like Dark did in the last game, but Port Alexander, not that far for the probe to run, so it should make it home safely. Looks like herO going to be opening up with a Phoenix to probably just kill off some Overlords. We'll see if he goes into multiple, maybe an extra Stargate, you never know. Right, and it is another Phoenix on the way, so we are going to be seeing this mass Phoenix play coming out of herO. Dark Slings test in the front, but hero's got that wall up. This is an interesting wall. I mean, these Lings are going to try and break the front, but they are sent back by that Stalker and that Adept. This is a really interesting wall, though, from hero. Like, I don't know, did he make a mistake or something? Because I feel like you'd be better off, you know, I guess it comes down to the build he's doing. Like, he's not throwing up an extra gateway, so he kind of has to use the extra pylon, but yeah, not the most stable wall. However, this Phoenix coming on in, and it is going to be mass Phoenix coming out of hero, by the way. So far, this Phoenix just killed off the one Overlord, and Dark pulling all the other Overlords back. The Phoenix production is going up, an extra gateway on the way being shown at the front here. That's actually somewhat important if Dark dives on in, because if a Zerg player comes on in, they spot just one gateway at your natural, their mind will probably go to something like mass Stargate. Hero just producing up more Phoenix. Dark, though, getting an Overlord in here. Gonna spot exactly what he's up against. So these Phoenix are gonna have to move across the map for Hero. Actually, Hero getting a little bit supply block there for a second, so that's not too good. But also gonna be securing his third base as this goes on. The ragtag team of units. Sort of like the Protoss A team, you know, got the Zealot, got the Adept, got the Stalker. But now, here comes in these Phoenix, gonna be picking off an Overlord here. Gonna be lifting up a drone or two. Gonna be looking to get another Overlord. Phoenix are very tanky. Oh, but actually a bit of a miss micro. One of those Phoenix flies right over the Queens and gets picked off. So, I mean, Hero not getting as much damage done, partially because he didn't have the element of surprise with this attack. Dark scouted it. And I mean, Phoenix are tanky, but Dark really getting into position to anticipate their positioning. So actually a very good defense from Dark so far. Just knowing that the Phoenix are coming is a big part of this. Ling's going to be heading on in towards the third base. I mean, the Hero, he has that probe tucked in the back there. Got another pylon, got a shield battery on the way. Going to be starting up that third base, but this is looking a little bit dicey. A Queen does get found, so Hero at least getting something done with this Phoenix. Going to be nabbing up an Overlord. Maybe able to pick up a couple of drones here. Actually lifting up a fair few of them. Gonna have to be careful to get out with those Phoenix, but getting a nice bit of damage done there. Oh, does lose one of the Phoenix, though. And I mean, Phoenix can always get something done in a game. And here comes in Hero, gonna be lifting up more drones, so at least trading out. Gonna be hiding back with those Phoenix. You gotta be careful from those Queens, though. Now, Ling's continuously testing Hero's third. I mean, Hero, he's killed off 5 Overlords, 7 drones this game for 2 Phoenix, and he's transitioning out of it. So, I mean, his tech is a little bit late. His third's a little bit late for this. But he's not in a terrible spot or anything like this, but he probably would have liked to get a little bit more done with these Phoenix. Gonna actually nab up another Queen, so I mean, the Phoenix might necessarily not be done yet. I mean, actually picking up yet another of Dark's Queen. So, I mean, that's a nice bit of damage there. Dark trying to build up his Queen count, but Hero having something to say about that. And now Hero, he's actually moving across the map. That may be a little bit of a bold move out. But, oh, these Phoenix coming in, can they maybe get a Queen? He's thinking about it, and he does lift up one of these Queens. Will be able to be transfused, though, so Hero does have to fly on out with those Phoenix. Gonna just be looking to lift up whatever he can. Gotta be careful. But, no, he's actually getting a fair bit done with these Phoenix. At first, he got shut down pretty hard, but, I mean, as long as he keeps them alive, he can look for more and more damage later on. And now here they go, they're flying on in towards that third base. More drones getting lifted up. Hero, he's getting a nice bit of damage done with this. Dark's down to 55 drones. He's just making another big round of them being like, oh wow, I'm losing drones. I gotta replace some of these. And Hero, he's really buying himself some time, taking steam out of the engine that is Dark. I mean, Dark, he's just being slowed down by these Phoenix, and slowed down a lot. Like, he was making some roaches for safety, I guess. But everything else really is delayed. There's nothing. Dark doesn't really have a lot that speaks volumes going for him. I mean, he's down on workers. Hero's fully saturated at his third base. He's getting into some very serious tech. High Templar Storm on the way. Another Robo on the way, getting up a lot of gateways charged. So he's going to be coming into a very strong Protoss army. whereas Dark doesn't have too much going for him. Some drones are going to be popping out here, and herO just waiting to lift them up, actually being such a menace with these Phoenix, getting a nice bit of damage done. How many kills do they all have? They've all got a few to them. It's actually very hard to click Phoenix individually. Like, that one has 7 kills. And I mean, Dark, he's lost a fair few units. 21 drones and only 3 Phoenix have gone down. So, like I said, I know I critiqued herO at first just for not getting too much done. Dark did a good job scouting it, but I mean, herO just flying around with these Phoenix, getting more and more done. And just look at this. Dark is just taking a beating, losing more drones at the 9-minute mark to these Phoenix, as herO has kept them alive. Psystorm just about to be finished up here for herO, and that does wonders for a Protoss army. I mean, it really shuts down pretty much everything but like lurkers or broodlords to an extent. That's where Psystorm really has its strength. And so here we're going to be a very happy Protoss having that. Building up an immortal count in case there's lurkers, but there's not even a Hydralisk then on the way for Dark. So Dark just with lots of Ling, Baneling, and some roaches in there, but it's looking pretty dicey for Dark right now. These Phoenix flying on in, getting more damage done. Just a drone here and there, it really adds on up. They're now flying in towards this 4th base and getting a few more drones. Looks like some of these Phoenix may go down. One of them gets picked off there, but there's still 5. So herO, he can always try and get some more done. Looks like there was an attempted Baneling run by from Dark, just judging by those force fields. But herO on point with his defense. And now we're even seeing herO, like, he's very comfortable in his economic situation. He's got Zealots running down to the south. Dark is just trying to keep it together for now. I mean, Burrow's on the way. He's getting his upgrades for his units, but I mean, herO's going to be getting into his own +2. herO's getting up a ton of cannons, securing a 4th base, a ton of shield batteries there too. I absolutely love this defense from the Protoss player. And now here comes in these Zealots. Okay, Dark on point to defend this. I mean, these Zealots, it was a bit of a Hail Mary, so good defense there from Dark shutting that down, but I mean, he doesn't have a lot going for him still. Okay, his tech of choice is going to be Ultralisks, which is interesting, that's for sure. I mean, Adrenal Glands on the way, so he's going to be sticking to this melee style. And I mean, herO, if he doesn't have enough Immortals, I mean, Ultralisks can work, but there's already 5 Immortals. However, this big Ling counterattack getting on in here for Dark, this is absolutely huge. herO, I mean, his game certainly could just be suddenly turned on its head. Ling's getting into his base, but Zealots being warped into the main base to deal with it. Dark actually burrows Lings there. I mean, got a few more harassing probes at the natural and burrows them. So, I mean, really taking the focus off his back, though, is Dark. So he's probably going to be able to get up to this Ultralisk Cavern. He's going to have out Adrenal Glands. So that's the type of army he's going for. The fact that he never teched into Hydras, never threw up a Spire or anything like that. So Dark going to be playing this very ground-based style. And we'll see if hero's going to be able to deal with it. I mean, Psystorm, yeah, it'll help out versus the Lings and Banelings, but it's not going to help out versus Ultralisks. 6 Immortals will, though. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned for herO, but I'm interested to see if Dark's able to make anything happen with this plan. Oh, man, Dark is planning a big counterattack. Look at all these Banelings. This is like 19 Banelings rolling in. However, herO actually able to intercept this Psystorm. Dissuades those Banelings from going on in. Good find there, but Dark looking for another move, going for a 1-2. Banelings now rolling on in towards this other location. Gonna hit a couple of sentries. herO quickly warping in a ton of Zealots to prevent those Lings from getting on in, pardon me, but Dark suddenly hitting everywhere. Banelings rolling on in. herO's 3rd base just gets decimated. A lot of the probes there do go down. And Dark just hitting in multiple locations. Roach is now heading towards the 4th base. So far, herO holding on, though. And herO, he's actually teched up into Tempest, whereas Dark getting up a Spire, getting up Ultras. I'm curious to see if Dark's just going to go for like a big commitment. For now, though, he's making wondrous plays happen, though, with these Lings hitting pretty much every base at once. The Roaches now coming back in towards the 4th base. A lot of exposed High Templar here. A Psystorm pushes those Roaches back. A few Banelings rolling on in, but can the Cannons save the Templar? Yes, they can. Cannon's the real MVP. I mean, Dark's just... oh, he's playing wonderful with Banelings just running into every single base here. Really trying to just knock herO down just with multiple punches. I mean, herO, he's staying alive, though, getting up a Mothership Core, getting up more Stargates. So he is going to be playing this late-game Protoss style. He's not showing, like, any fear of Dark's going into late game because he knows Dark has been committing to all these Lings, to all these Roaches. I mean, I don't think he's sniffed out the Ultralisk just yet. But the herO still seems to be confident. The Phoenix are still even alive. Picks off an Overseer, still getting something done. But, oh, man, there's There's drop rewards on the map, guys, and they are loaded up with a ton of lings, and these are going to be 24 adrenal gland lings getting into the main base of herO. I mean, there's a single cannon there, but these guys are all going to unload. Lings also running in towards the natural base. Mothership core will help deal with that, though. I mean, here comes in the lings, though. They're getting into the main base. herO's just being hit everywhere. Gonna need more than 2 zealots to deal with this. Tempest coming in, and it looks like a recall actually being used. herO recalling a good portion of his army, but these lings being a pain, just burrowing all over the base. So herO, he needs an observer. How many observers does he even have? He's got 1 observer. I mean, he's just been producing immortals and whatnot. Now making some void rays now that he's seen the ultras. But I mean, Dark, has he just pulled herO enough out of position? Has he managed to crack the nut that is this Protoss player? These ultras are just crashing right on into the base, but Dark actually decides to retreat. However, I mean, he can probably just unburrow the lings in the main base if he chooses to do so. And there he goes, now back harassing herO. I mean, just the level of aggression that Dark has been piling onto the Protoss player is huge, but herO may finally have just said, enough is enough, I'm gonna go kill you now. And I'm not sure if Dark actually has an army to defend versus this. I mean, he's getting out a good number of corruptors to deal with the Tempest, but there's still a lot of immortals. There's gonna even be a couple of void rays in here. herO's main base is being attacked, but it's nothing too serious. The Protoss player on 4 bases now just pushing out with the army that he's got. Immortals are fighting ultras, but I mean, these ultras are actually working through the immortals, getting a good engagement. herO's actually being forced back right now. I mean, all the ground units are pretty much toast. A lot of High Templar from the looks of it getting evacuated in that prison, but these ultras are still chasing them down. Tempest falling, the Mothership core falling. And I mean, these Tempests, they can pick off these corruptors. They fall back to the shield batteries, but the void rays, but I mean, these ultras still on the base, and herO's having a bit of a tough time right now. Ultra's getting connections with his probes right now. Probes are forced to run, but herO's 4th base has been decimated, and he is now a pretty much a 3-base Protoss. I mean, these void rays, they got to get back and clean up these ultras, but not in time to save the base. Queen's now moving across the map to fight the Tempest. I mean, the Tempests still are going pretty well unchecked, but Dark really just needs to make enough corruptors to deal with this. And I mean, herO has taken a massive beating this game. Ling's getting into the natural. Looks like the cannons will help deal with that, but oh man, herO, his attack didn't work, and now his economy is definitely hurting. And what's he gonna do? I mean, he's trying to get up a carrier, some void rays, but I mean, Dark has the economy really to outproduce whatever herO makes. He's down on supply. And what a crazy Zerg versus Protoss this has been. I mean, Dark, I mean, the opening wasn't the best for him, but then just with those constant attacks, herO wasn't really able to formulate, like, he wasn't really able just to, you know, come together and be able to, you know, be that Protoss who deflects everything. So Dark just started rocking the ship, and herO, he toppled a little bit. Now more lings going for a counterattack. This is just Dark playing so well. I mean, there's a lot of cannons to defend this herO, working in zealots, but I mean, his economy is just not really good enough to support that. And it looks like that he wants to attack now, because I mean, he's worried about his economic situation. Notice that he hasn't tried to get up a new 4th base. herO is just going to be going for it. I mean, the players are on pretty equal supply here. There's Vipers, though. There's Corruptors. Can herO's air army take this on? We'll see. I mean, there's 7 void rays in the mix here. More void rays being produced. herO's really just going to be committing to a big old attack. Lings and zealots at the 3rd base. Going to be shutting down this ling counterattack, though. So that is good for herO, but he's being pulled back now, and he wants to go for an attack. He really needs to. The fact that he hasn't got up a 4th base, look at this, Dark securing yet another base. He's got so many bases here. This is base number 7, whereas herO is on 3. All right, so I mean, we'll see more void rays on the way, more Archons on the way here. But no, I mean, like, just look at this. herO's just moving across the map right now with this big old army. That poor Overlord getting shot by the Tempest quickly, knowing to get out of dodge there. But more, looks like more High Templar, probably an Archon getting morphed on in. So herO's going for it. He's just giving her, going for the full attack. I mean, and does Dark have what he needs to deal with this? I mean, this Protoss army is no joke. herO down on probes, so he's built up such a very strong army. But here comes in all the Corruptors. They're actually going to be abducting the Tempest, which are abandoned. 3 Tempests going down. That's a massive move there, and suddenly herO's air army taking a very strong beating. herO needs to push on in. Time isn't on his side. He's like, yeah, I'll expand to a 4th base, but these 2 Ultras with anabolic synthesis are just going to have something to say about that quickly getting over here. And, okay. These Ultras gonna be retreating now. But, like, Dark he's bought himself so much time. His situation's just getting better and better. He's building up a bank, and the main thing is he has that sort of deathly Corruptor count. I mean, herO, he's got 11 Void Rays, he's got a Carrier, a couple of Tempests, but with a couple of Vipers and all these Tempests, I'm not sure his air army is up to stuff. His ground army, that's debatable, but there's no Immortals to deal with the Ultras, really. There's actually 2 Immortals, pardon me. A good Psystorm goes down, but Parasitic Bombs on the Void Rays, I mean, it's good versus Void Rays, so herO's air army just in trouble. He's going for the attack, trying to get off all the Psystorm that he can. He's trying to hold on, dropping more and more Psystorm, but I'm not sure he's going to have an air army left to stand to benefit from all these dying Corruptors. And no, the Corruptors do win out. The ground army for herO is pushing out, though, but Dark, 6 more Ultras, 44 Lings on the way, a Greater Spire. herO has pretty much got to make this happen now or never. Dark just really got to muster a defense. I mean, he's still up on supply. A lot of it's in Corruptors, though. But can he deal with this ground army? I mean, there's a lot of high tempo, but they're going to start going down, throwing Psystorm. I mean, there's a couple of Immortals. They can pop off the Ultras, maybe, but there's so many Lings, and these are well upgraded Lings. 3-3 Adrenal Gland Lings. Gonna smash herO out of this game. GG Dark, managing to take it. What a crazy series from the IEM qualifiers. Okay, if you guys stayed to the very end, and I hope you did, because that was some crazy games there. Dark just playing very well in that last game. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button. Let's say 20 likes this video. Can we do that? That would be awesome. But otherwise, if you guys enjoyed the content and you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.